Welcome, welcome. Good to be here with you. As always, we are going to start class today laying down. So if you want to find your cozy resting position, we'll get started there. I'll join you. Tonight's class is going to be super relaxed, very intuitive, and just some good time to tune in. So find your cozy resting position and we'll meet up and get started there. And feel free to lay down however it feels good for you. And eventually draw your eyes closed once you feel comfortable. Take a couple of moments to simply tune in and notice how you're feeling in this moment. Draw your awareness to your mind, to your headspace, and observe how it feels. Maybe you come up with a word to describe the feeling. Eventually, give yourself a body scan again, noting how your body feels. And feel free to come up with a word to describe the state of your body as a whole. And then simply tune in to your emotional, your energetic well-being. How do you feel right now? What emotion do you feel in this moment? Simply observe, notice, let it be. And begin to invite in a sense of relaxation within and around you. So you made it, you arrived. For the next hour, there's nothing you have to do but to simply be with yourself here and now. Begin to relax your body by softening the back of the head towards the ground. Relax the shoulder blades, soften the spine and the back body. Relax your hips, your legs, soften the feet and toes. Relax your arms, soften your hands and fingers. Allow the front body to open, starting by relaxing your facial expression. Soften the forehead, the eyes. Relax the cheeks and the jaw. Soften your lips, your mouth, and relax your ears. Allow the chest to soften as you relax the belly, the rib cage. Take a couple moments to simply be in your body. Is there anywhere that you can relax even further? If so, how can you soften the edges of your being, of your body, and just completely melt down to the ground beneath you? Soften even further by relaxing your mind, almost imagining as though the brain is a muscle. Can you relax it, soften it, increase the space within the head? And begin to tune in to the feeling of the breath in your body. Can you find the gentle wave of the inhales and exhales along the front of your body? Allow your body to simply breathe itself, but become a witness, an observer of your beautiful breath within. Feel the body rise and fall with every breath in and out. Feel the goodness of coming home to your breath within. There's nothing else you have to do right now. With every breath that your body takes, allow yourself to drift off to a further state of relaxation, letting go of all that mind stuff, and simply coming to the present moment with the feeling of your breath. Take a couple moments to simply be with this beautiful sensation in your body. Notice that as we're here, internal and external distractions will arise, and that's okay. When your mind begins to wander, simply notice, stay an observer, and come back to feeling the breath. Let go of any attachment to continuing to think about those distractions, for those are not of your concern right now. All you have to do is feel your breath. That's it. So when your mind gets distracted, simply bring it back to the task at hand. If you'd like to, simply stay resting on your mat, feeling the beautiful inhales and exhales within, then please feel free to do so. Know that tonight's practice is for you, so you get to choose where you go. Anything that I offer is simply a suggestion, so please find what feels good for you. Sometimes what we need the most is just rest. If you'd like to begin to flow, follow an inhale to reach your arms and feet in opposite directions. So pull the feet towards the front of the room, reach the hands towards the back of the room, giving yourself a nice full body stretch. On an exhale, bring the knees in towards the chest, wrap your arms around the legs, give yourself a nice hug. Pause here and simply be in your body. If you'd like to introduce small rocks side to side, feel free to do so, giving yourself a gentle back massage, maybe even allowing the ears to fall side to side when you rock, releasing the neck as well. Stay in your body though, notice how it feels. Observe any areas that may feel tight or open, and just be with how your body feels right now. Continue to breathe. We are going to start our first flow together laying on our back bodies. So if you are rocking side to side, eventually slow down your rocks, making your way to simply Apanasana, knees to chest pose without any movement. We'll start our first flow with a nice gentle twist. So on an exhale, allow your arms to fall to a T shape and then drop the knees over toward the left hand side. Gaze can be up towards the ceiling, or you can send your gaze over the right hand, stretching out the neck a bit too. As you're in this twist, continue to press the right shoulder blade down towards the ground beneath you, resisting the lift of the shoulder girdle. Relax your jaw and simply allow your body to rest in whatever shape it falls in. Be easy. Feel the breath within, just like we did in the beginning. Feel the wave of every inhale and exhale along the right side body, and allow your awareness to simply rest here. Use this as your anchor to the present moment. So when thoughts, internal or external distractions arise, you can find your way back. Breathe steadily here for a couple more rounds of breath, just feeling the body. Whenever your next inhale arises, gently bring the knees up to center. And then on your exhale, slowly lower them to the right side now, so other side. Again, gaze can be up towards the ceiling over the left hand. If you prefer to have the eyes closed, feel free to go there. And begin to soften your body down. So relax, relax, relax. Just melt into the shape that your body falls into. Continue to gently press the left shoulder blade to the ground. And breathe. So bring your awareness to the left side body. Can you feel the gentle wave of your inhales and exhales along the left-hand side? Notice how it feels and what you feel here. Again, your breath, the feeling of your breath in your body is the anchor to here and now. So feel the breath. When you notice the mind wandering, become aware Find compassion for yourself and simply return to every inhale and exhale. Again, pause here to feel the goodness of your breath in your body before we move on to the next pose. Whenever your next inhale arises, gently bring the knees back up to center. And on the exhale, place the feet down on the ground with the knees bent. So the feet will be hips distance, heels in towards your bottom, and then bring your hands and place them on your thighs. So you're going to try to lower the hands as much as you can so the heel, the bottom of your hand, is in the crease between your thigh and your hip joint. We're going to stretch the low back, which is known as back traction. So when you're ready, on an exhale, begin to straighten your arms, pressing the hands into the thighs. Now you're not going to feel much yet, but then on your next exhale, so breathe in. On your next exhale, pull your belly button in towards the spine and then up towards your face. So essentially, again, we're pulling the belly button down towards the ground and then drawing it up towards the head. You'll definitely feel a stretch in the back body then. So pause here and breathe. Continue to press the hands in towards the thighs. Pull the belly button down and up. Couple more big breaths. Soften your jaw. Notice what you feel. Stay in the body. Let's take 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. On your exhale, release the arms, let them come by the sides, and just simply observe how you feel for a moment or 2. For our next stretch, you can keep the feet flat on the ground or extend the legs out, whatever feels more comfortable for you. But bring your hands ahead of you and clasp your hands, so like you're holding your hands, and then bring them behind your head. So you're going to lift the head up, place the head on the clasped hands. Elbows will be spreading wide by your sides. And we're going to do some nice, gentle neck stretches laying on the back. So on your next exhale, gently tuck the chin in towards the chest, so you're cradling the head in the hands. And then just rock the head side to side. So you're using the hands to rock the head side to side, making half moon shapes essentially on the chest or semicircles. And if you like, you can gently even press the head towards the hands as the hands are pulling the head towards the chest. Maybe you pause in an area and get a really good stretch. You can play around with how high up the head is lifted away from the ground. But just observe how it feels to roll the head side to side and stretch out the neck a bit while laying down. Again, keep the jaw relaxed and simply breathe through the body here. Feel free to pause in any area that feels good, but allow the movements to be organic and simply feel the body. We'll continue to flow for a couple more breaths. Find how this feels and works for you. And once you're ready to come on out, gently lower the head back down on an exhale and release the hands from behind the head, bringing them back down by your sides. Again, pause for a moment and just observe how the neck, possibly even the upper back, feels after that movement. Breathe into what you feel. If your legs are not already straight, on your next exhale, straighten the legs down to the ground. This is our final stretch in this flow. We're going to do a twist, but this one's going to be a little different. It's going to be twisting the shoulder girdle and upper body rather than the lower body and the core. So when you're ready, lift your right arm up off the ground and then draw across the body. So you're going to bring the right hand toward the left hand side. From here, lift up the left hand and grab a hold of the upper arm. So if this feels like enough of a stretch, you're just going to stay right as you are. If you want to go a little bit further, you're going to continue to reach that right hand toward the left wall and lift up the back side of your right shoulder. So that right shoulder blade will come up off the ground, and you're essentially twisting the shoulder girdle. So breathe deeply here, find where this works for you. If you are lifting the right shoulder blade up off the ground, feel as though you want to touch the wall to the left-hand side. So you're really reaching across the body here, and shrug the shoulder down the back body. Relax your jaw and breathe deeply here. And simply be with however it feels for you and find how this works in your body. One more big breath. On your exhale, slowly come on out. Shoulder blades both to the ground and arms by the sides. Take a big breath, observe the right hand side. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, left arm lifts up, and then it comes across the body. Exhale, and then bring your right hand to the outside of the upper right or left arm if that feels good for you. If this is enough of a stretch, stay exactly as you are. If you want to go a little bit further, you're going to begin to reach across like you want to touch the right wall now, lifting the left shoulder blade up off the ground. Breathe deeply here, relax your jaw, and continue to pull the shoulder blade down away from the neck and ears. Should receive a nice stretch on that left shoulder blade, possibly even the outer left arm. Breathe through the stretch, couple more big breaths, you got it. Feel the breath in the body, one more round of breath. On your exhale, slowly release on out and bring both the arms by the sides. Again, pause for a moment, feel how the left side body feels now. Breathe deeply. Great job. So that was our first flow. I will recap for you. I'd like to implore you to take your time in these poses and pause after every pose to just observe the effects of the postures within. So if you want to continue on and repeat this flow, we started this flow with a nice gentle twist. So we started in Apanasana, knees to chest pose, and then dropped the arms to a T shape and lowered the legs to each side. You can choose how long you stay on each side. If you just want to do a twist pose the whole time, feel free to do so. So we twisted on each side, left side and then the right. We then lowered the feet to the mat and did back traction. So we brought the hands to the lower thighs, pressed the hands into the thighs, then drew the belly button down and up to create space in the low back. We paused here, relaxed, and again, after all these poses, notice how you feel. From there, we did our neck stretches. So we clasped the hands, brought them behind the head, and then used the hands to lift the head and roll side to side to receive some ooey gooey yummy neck stretches. From there, we relaxed back down and found our final stretch, which was that kind of twist shoulder stretch. So we straightened the legs out, drew one arm across the body, maybe just paused there or really reached across, lifting the shoulder blade up off the ground. We did that on each side, and then again observed after each side and simply rested. So again, for this, it's the simple twist, the back traction stretch. From there, we did the neck stretches and then the shoulder stretch across the body. So feel free to play around with that. You can do all, none, or some of it, but take your time, and I will be here to guide your awareness. And as you enter into each of these poses, find somewhere to place your awareness. So whether it's the strongest sensation you're receiving in the body in a pose, or feeling that wave of the breath within, find somewhere to place your mind, your awareness. So when the mind wanders, you can simply bring it back. As you approach these postures, whether you are repeating the flow or choosing your own adventure this evening, notice how you can soften. So start by noticing how you can soften your body. Maybe that means relaxing the toes, softening the face and jaw. But observe and notice how you can become physically softer. And then tune inwards, noticing how you can soften your mind. Maybe that means being more compassionate to yourself and the state you may be in right now. Maybe that means just being okay with being an observer and returning to the breath whenever need be. How can you soften your body? How can you soften your mind? When we choose to soften, we relax, we let go and let be and allow ourselves to return to the goodness of here and now. Right now, all you're doing is simply flowing on your mat in your body. There's nothing else happening and nothing else to do right now. Give yourself permission to be in the goodness of this moment fully. Release any stories of the past, of the future, and just allow yourself to nestle in the goodness of here and now. Continue to feel the breath in your body. That's all you have to do. Feel the beautiful inhales, the exhales, the gentle wave within. Surrender your mind to the breath. Let everything else go. And continue to play the role of an observer, of a witness, rather than allowing your thoughts to be of you or to define you. Watch them pass by like clouds in the sky. Distance yourself from them, for you are not your thoughts. Watch them pass by as you feel the breath within. Take a step back and simply observe. Detach from the thoughts. Let go of trying to stay with the breath. Simply be along for the ride. When you're ready, feel the breath. And then watch where the mind takes you. If you're still flowing, please continue to do so. Continue to stay present in your body and in your practice, and give yourself what you need most right now. If you've completed your postures for our first set in the flow, take a couple moments and check in. Observe how your body feels, how your mind feels, and observe if there's any themes or thoughts to your practice this evening so far. Simply become aware, but again, let go of any sorts of attachment. Observe and let be. If you'd like to join me for our second set of postures, slowly make your way to seated. So I'd like to recommend just rolling over to one side since you've been laying on your back for a while, resting there for a couple of breaths, and then slowly pressing yourself up to seated. So take your time with the transition, and we'll eventually meet up in child's pose. So find your way to hands and knees, tabletop position. And once you get there, the big toes will touch behind you, knees spread wide, and on an exhale, sink the hips back to the heels and allow your body to drape down towards the mat. Head can dangle in the air or forehead rests on the ground. And we'll pause here for a couple of big breaths. If you'd like to stay still, feel free to do so. If you want to rock the hips side to side or even roll the head side to side, again, find what feels good for your body this evening. Melt into this posture. So relax the fingers and the arms, soften into the hips, and relax the back body. Child's pose is an amazing pose that evokes safety and security within us. The head, the heart, and the hips are all close to the ground, which gives us a sense of safety, security. So allow yourself to feel into the goodness of this pose and yet again feel the breath in your body. Notice where you feel every inhale and exhale manifest within. Just surrender to the goodness of the feeling of the breath. Feel the inhales and exhales for a couple more rounds, melting deeper and deeper into the pose with every breath. From here, we're going to approach a moving meditation. So our goal is to synchronize breath with movement as closely as we can. So on your next inhale, as slowly as you can, gently press yourself up to hands and knees, tabletop position. You'll get to the top when you're no longer breathing in. On your exhale, slowly and consciously press back, timing it up so that when you're at the bottom of your exhale, your hips are as far down as they go. So continue to move like this, timing up the inhales with lifting the body to tabletop position, and the exhales to sinking back down in child's pose. We're going to continue this motion for a handful of breaths. Really try with every lift and lower to synchronize breath and movement, allowing yourself to sink deeper and deeper to here and now. So I'll let you be. Continue to move, inhaling to lift and exhaling to lower, focusing on bringing the mind to the body through the breath. Continue to flow for a couple more rounds, really trying to match up the inhales and exhales with lifting and lowering. You can continue to flow if you want to continue moving like this. If and when you're ready, we'll meet back in child's pose. And take your time. If you've made your way to child's pose, again, pause for a couple moments. Notice how your mind, your body feels. Come back to the breath. And whenever your next inhale arises, gently make your way back up to hands and knees, tabletop position. This time when you get there on the exhale, make sure that the wrists are directly under the shoulders and that the knees are hips distance. We'll move to thread the needle next. So on your next inhale, reach that right hand up towards the ceiling, stretch tall. Exhale, hand comes down and across as you set the shoulder down and side of the head down as well. Step that left hand out so the wrist is directly under your left elbow and pause here. If you want to activate this posture, you'll press the back side of that right arm down and press the left hand into the mat. Take a moment and observe the knees. If one knee feels significantly lighter than the other, shift the weight over so both knees feel about equal in their weight distribution. Shoulders pull down away from the ears and gently pull the low belly in towards the spine. Breathe here, so relax the jaw, soften the gaze. The eyes can be open or closed. Feel the breath in the body. Breathe through the shoulders and the back. Couple more big breaths here. Continue to simply feel the shape, feel the breath within. On your next inhale, press through that left hand, lift the right hand all the way up towards the ceiling again. Stretch tall. Exhale, hand comes down to the mat. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, reach that left hand up. Exhale, sweep down and across. Set the shoulder down and then the side of the head. Again, step that right hand out now so the wrist is under the elbow, keeping the elbow stacked. And breathe deeply. Observe how the knees feel. If one knee feels a lot lighter than the other, shift the weight over to even out that weight distribution and square off the hips. Low belly pulls in and shoulders pull down away from the ears. Feel the body. So notice where you feel the stretch. Relax the jaw. Breathe deeply. Again, simply feel the body. There's not many times throughout the day that we get to just be in our bodies. So give yourself the gift of just being in your body and feeling the goodness within. Breathe deeply. Feel the breath. We'll pause here for a couple more big breaths. Great job. On your next inhale, press through the right hand, lift the left hand all the way up, reach tall. And exhale, set the hand down, and make your way back to child's pose. So big toes touch, knees spread wide, and sink those hips back to the heels, draping the upper body down. Take a couple big breaths here. Notice how you feel after thread the needle pose. Feel the breath in the body. If you feel inclined to take some cleansing breaths, you can inhale deeply through the nostrils and exhale, making a ha sound through the mouth. So it sounds like this. If you want to take a couple of those, feel free to do so. Continue to stay in the body. Feel whatever's going on and just let yourself be here and now. So as you're here, I will recap our flow for us. If you want to do all, none, or some of that, that is totally up to you. If you do want to repeat that flow, we started simply in child's pose, allowing ourselves to melt towards the ground and just be in the goodness of the posture. From there, we introduced our moving meditation. So we inhaled to tabletop position, hands and knees moving slowly unconsciously with the breath. And we exhaled to lower, sinking the hips back towards the heel. We did that for a prolonged period of time, really allowing ourselves to drop into that more meditative state. From there, and whenever you feel like it, you make your way back to child's pose and just rest, observe, notice how it feels, and pause. After child's pose, we made our way back to hands and knees, tabletop position, this time coming into proper alignment with the wrists under the shoulders, knees, hips distance. Thread the needle, you inhale to reach up and exhale to come across and set the shoulder down. Pause here on each side, breathing deeply, again, to come on out, reach on up and come down. Did both sides and then made our way back to nice, gentle child's pose. So as a quick recap, we started in child's pose, did our moving meditation, tabletop to child's pose, again rested in child's pose, and then thread the needle on each side, of course, landed back in child's pose. So feel free to do all, none, or some of that. Really take your time to just melt into the goodness of these poses or wherever else you like to go, and I will be here for you. So breathe deeply and stay in your body. The breath is one thing that is truly happening here and now in real time. When we rest our mind on the feeling of the breath within, we allow ourselves to relax and to become present. The mind exists in the future and the past, but when it's here and now, it ceases. All there is the present moment. Even if it's just for a portion of an inhale or a brief exhale, can you let go? Can you just let yourself be here and now? The mind may try to fight you, and that's okay, but give yourself just a moment of peace and serenity here and now. And continue to soften. So notice how you can soften your body even further. Maybe that means softening the extremities, the facial expression. Just notice what it means for you. How can you soften your body right now? How can you soften your mind? Maybe it's a physical sensation. Maybe it's softening the way you speak towards yourself. Maybe it's just softening into the feeling of the breath. Let yourself melt into the moment. Continue to let go with every inhale and exhale you take, surrendering to here and now. There's nothing you have to do right now, nowhere you have to be. You're on your mat in whatever room you're in with your practice right now, so let yourself be what you are doing. Allow the mind and body to come fully here and now through the breath. Notice where your mind is at. Has your mind taken you away on a trail of thoughts? Are there external distractions taking you out of your body? Just become aware. We're still simply observing. And notice where you'd like to place your awareness. Maybe you stay in the mind. Maybe you come to the present moment through feeling the breath. But since you're not your thoughts, you can decide where you'd like to be. Whenever you're ready to come back to here and now, simply feel every inhale and exhale within. If you're still flowing, please feel free to do so. If there are any postures you wish to take, honor your body and the time that you have right now. So feel free to move organically, to let your body take you where it likes to go. Let go of that sense of control and just let your body move. Observe, feel, let yourself be free. Continue to stay within, to breathe deeply. Maybe even take a couple moments to again check in, notice the mind, the body, any thoughts or themes to your practice so far. But above all else, allow yourself to find a sense of lightness, love, and ease for where you're at right now. If you'd like to continue to flow and do what you're doing right now, feel free to do so. Again, this is your time, so give your body whatever it needs right now. If you'd like to meet up with me for the final flow of class, we are going to meet up resting on our bellies. So take your time. If there's some postures you want to take on your way there, feel free to take them. If and when you're ready and want to meet up with me, we will meet up laying down on our bellies. We're going to approach some gentle back bends here. So if you're coming to your belly, once you get there, place the hands directly under the shoulders and then pull the elbows in by your sides. So rather than allowing them to splay outwards, hug them in towards your body. On your next inhale, gently lift the heart to a low cobra position. So gaze forward, tops of the toes stay on the ground, and stay lifted rather than using the strength of the arms and hands. Really squeeze the low back to keep the torso and the head lifted. Breathe here, so relax your jaw. We're just going to hold this pose for a couple big breaths. Continue to breathe, elbows squeezing by your sides. Again, should feel the low back working. Couple more big breaths. Try to keep the hands as light as possible. Let's take about 2 more full breaths. 1 more. Great job. On your exhale, slowly lower down and rest the forehead on the ground. Hands can stay under the shoulders or by your sides with straight arms. Breathe to the low back. You can either do that again or move forward with me to Sphinx pose. If you'd like to move to Sphinx pose, gently lift the head up off the ground, and this time bring the elbows under the shoulders, forearms and hands on the ground. So 90-degree bend in those elbows. The feet press down into the mat. You'll feel a little lift in the knees when you do so, and then press the hands and forearms down to the ground. You'll feel the heart and chest lift when you do so. Low belly pulls in as you press the hips and pelvic region down towards the mat. So anything touching the ground is pressing down. Anything not touching the ground is lifting up and away. So glutes are squeezing, kneecaps are lifting, toes are pressing down, hands, forearms, elbows press down, chest lifts forward, gaze is forward. Notice if you're looking up, craning the neck. Really try to keep the neck a neutral extension of the spine. And breathe. Feel the breath within. This is a strong posture. Breathe through the body, couple more big breaths. Relax the jaw. Continue to keep the body active. Again, anything pressing towards the ground really presses down. Anything not is lifting up and away. 1 more big breath. And this time on your exhale, release the body, stack the palms one on top of another, and you can either rest a forehead or a cheek down on your palms or on your hands. And rest here for a couple breaths. Again, simply observe the body after the pose. Notice the effects of the postures, if any, and simply be here and now. Feel the breath within. Whenever your next inhale arises, gently lift the head up off the hands. And from here, we're going to move to half bow pose. So bring the elbows directly under the shoulders again. And this time, left hand's going to come directly into the center of your mat. So it's going to be in front of your face. There'll be about a 45-degree bend going on there. And then on your next inhale, lift the right foot up off the ground, bending the knee. Exhale, reach back. So you may or may not get a bind, and that is totally fine. Keep those shoulders facing forward. Maybe you grab around that right ankle, maybe not. If the hands are around the ankle, kick the foot back, lift the heart, and continue to pull both the shoulders towards the front of the room. So we're not opening up the shoulder looking toward the right-hand side. We're keeping that shoulder girdle neutral and kicking that right foot back. So pause here, same thing like Sphinx pose. So that left hand's really pressing down, the heart's lifting up away, the pelvis and the hips are pressing down, low belly pulls in, breathe deeply, left leg's working too, don't forget about that. Couple more big breaths. Again, it's okay if there's no bind going on, you can keep reaching back. 1 more full breath. On your exhale, release, and we're going to go straight to the other side. So bring that right elbow down under the right shoulder, then pivot right hand in front of the face. Inhale, lift the left foot up off the ground, and then exhale, reach on back. Again, it's okay if there's no bind. You can continue the actions of the postures without having the bind. If you are reaching around the ankle, kick that foot back, drawing the heart forward, and then pull the left shoulder forward so the shoulder girdle stays neutral to the front of the room. Breathe deeply. Again, right hand now presses down, heart lifts up, draw that left shoulder forward, kick on back, press the right leg down into the ground as well. Kneecap lifts, hips press down, low belly pulls in, and make sure you're breathing. A couple more big breaths here, you got it. Notice what you're feeling, feel the body working, and breathe through the body. Couple more big breaths. On your next exhale, slowly release on down, stack the palms in your choice. Either rest the opposite cheek or the forehead down to the ground. And breathe deeply. Notice how you feel. Observe the body again. Find the role of the witness and just observe, feel within. Allow your body to rest towards the ground beneath you. And breathe deeply. We have one more back bend left, and it's going to be full locust pose. So if you'd like to join me on your next inhale, lift the head up off the hands and bring the hands by the sides with the thumbs facing down, pinkies point up towards the ceiling. Exhale, and on your next inhale, lift everything up off the ground. So head, chest, arms, legs, everything lifts and all the energy shoots back towards the wall behind you. Breathe deeply here so that low back is working, keeping you lifted. Glutes are working, keeping the legs lifted. Reach those fingertips back and make sure you're breathing. Couple more big breaths here. You got it. Breathe deeply. Pinky toes spin down. Big toes spin up. One more big breath. And on your exhale, slowly release down. Rest on the ground however you'd like. Feel free to rock the hips side to side, finding an extra little release in the low back. And continue to breathe and feel the breath within. If you'd like to stay resting on your mat and simply listen to the recap, feel free to do so. If you want to prop yourself up, feel free to do so as well. But just to give you a recap, if you want to move forward and do these back bends again on your own, we started with low cobra. So the hands were under the shoulders and we lifted up, squeezing the elbows in by the sides. Stay here for as long as you'd like. And then we rested, again, feeling the effects of the posture and the breath in the body. From there, we made our way to Sphinx pose. So this time, elbows under the shoulders. Anything that was on the ground presses down. Anything that's not on the ground lifts up and away. Again, staying here for as long as you'd like. And then resting afterwards. After Sphinx pose, we made our way to half bow pose on each side. So we pivoted, one hand in front of the face, bent a knee, and then reached back, whether there was a bind or not, finding the same actions as in Sphinx pose, but this time kicking the foot back and reaching back with the arm. So same thing on each side, again resting, and then eventually made our way to locust pose, which was lifting everything up off the ground and breathing deeply there. And of course we rested again, maybe with the option to shimmy those hips side to side. So again, it was cobra pose, Sphinx pose, half bow on each side, and then locust pose. Continue to do the back bends if you'd like. Only when you're done with the back bends, then make your way to a child's pose and or a forward fold. If you're coming to child's pose, knees together to really bring some space into the low back. Forward fold with the legs extended as well is an awesome way to relieve any tension in the low back. So feel free to choose one or both of those after you complete your back bends. So feel free to continue on. If you're ready to just rest, do whatever you'd like, and I'll be here for you. And then we'll meet up for the closing of class. As you continue to flow, whether you're repeating the flow or doing your own version for your practice this evening, allow yourself to nestle back into the groove of here and now. So again, give yourself permission to let go of the future, of the past, and just sink into the goodness of here and now through the breath. Let go of the shoulds and have-tos, what the practice needs to look like, where we think the mind needs to be, and just become a witness. So take a step back. Your body is perfect the way it is right now. Just let yourself be in it. Your mind is exactly how it should be. Let yourself be a witness of the thoughts. We are not here to shut down, to turn off, to escape. We're here to sink into the moment fully and realize the gift that our life is exactly as it is, how it is here and now. Everything is exactly as it should be. Our minds are the ones that beg us to tell us different. Come back to the present moment through feeling the breath in your body and allow yourself to become an observer, a witness, and to realize the gift of your life from the beautiful space within. Breathe deeply and just let be. And become aware, notice where your mind is right now. What is the mind thinking about? If it's taken you away on internal or external distractions, that's okay. Become aware. When you're ready, find your way back to here and now by feeling the breath within. That's all you have to do. And as you flow, again, notice how you can soften. Soften your body, soften your mind, soften thoughts towards yourself, your life, your practice. Ease into the moment and just relax and let be. Again, whenever you complete your back bends, please find some sort of forward folding motion to release all the work that you've been doing in the low back. And continue to pause to feel the body during and after each pose. Let yourself soak in the goodness of your practice. And if you're still flowing, please give yourself all the time that you need this evening. For our closing of class, we will meet up laying on our backs. So if you want to take any other postures, stretches on your way there, feel free to do so. And then you can join me laying down on the back body. Again, take your time, give yourself whatever you need right now. And if you've made your way to laying on your backs and want to do one more pose with me, gently hug the right knee only in towards your chest. And then on an exhale, draw the knee across the body toward the left-hand side. So we're coming into a single leg twist now. The left hand can rest on the outside of that right knee, or hands can be in a T shape like the beginning of class. Gaze can be up towards the ceiling or over the right hand, eyes can be open or closed. So a little bit of a deeper twist than the one we took at the beginning of class. If you'd like to come out of it a little bit, feel free to do so, or bring that left knee under. Again, find what works in your body. But find your way back to the ripple, the feeling, the wave of the breath along the right side body. Feel the inhales and exhales, and let yourself simply melt into the shape. Pause here for about 2 more big breaths, letting yourself melt down. On your next inhale, gently bring your knee back to center and exhale, straighten it towards the ground. And we'll take the same stretch on the other side. So inhale, hug the left knee in, and on your exhale, draw the left knee across the body toward the right hand side. Arms can be at a T shape, or you can rest the right hand on the outside of that left knee. Breathe deeply here. Gaze can be up towards the ceiling or over the left hand with the eyes open or closed. Couple more big breaths. Feel the wave of every inhale and exhale along the left side body. And allow every breath you take to melt you down, to allow you to relax a little bit more. Couple more big breaths on this side. On your next inhale, gently bring that knee back up to center and exhale, straighten the leg down to the mat. Bring the arms by the sides with palms face up. If you're ready for Shavasana, find your cozy resting position. If there's any other stretches and postures you'd like to take, now's the time to do that, and then we'll meet up for Shavasana. So take your time, find what feels good for you right now. And if you're ready for Shavasana, gently draw the eyes closed and begin to invite in a soft, easy, a relaxed nature to your mind, to your body, to the space within and all around you. Begin to relax your body, starting by softening the crown of your head. Relax your forehead, soften your eyebrows. Relax the space in between your eyebrows and soften the temples. Relax your eyes, allowing the eyeballs to sink back towards the skull. Relax the cheekbones and the jaw. Soften your lips and your teeth. Gently float the tongue down away from the roof of your mouth. Soften your ears, the back of your head, and the scalp. Relax the back of your neck, the sides and the front, allowing the throat to open. Melt the shoulder blades down towards the ground beneath you. And relax the upper arms and the elbows. Soften the lower arms and the wrists. Relax the palms, the fingers, and soften the backs of your hands. Relax the chest, allowing the space around the heart to open. Soften the rib cage and relax your belly. Melt the back down towards the ground beneath you, softening every vertebra, just allowing your back to relax. Soften your glutes, the hips, and the pelvic region. Relax the upper legs and the knees. Soften the lower legs and the ankles. Relax the tops of your feet and the toes. Soften the bottoms of your feet as well. Notice if you're holding on anywhere else in your body, and simply let go. Relax completely. Allow this inner state of lightness and ease to translate to your mind, softening the mind as though it's a muscle itself, letting it melt and fade away. For the next couple of moments, allow yourself to simply be in this state as your body soaks in the goodness of your practice this evening. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana, stay here for as long as you'd like. Only when you're ready, begin to invite the awareness back in towards your body. Maybe you deepen the breath or add small movements to the toes, the fingers, the wrists and ankles. Once you're ready, gently roll over to either side and pause there to rest in a fetal position. Again, take your time. Eventually make your way all the way up to seated, keeping the eyes softly closed as you move. And we'll meet with the eyes closed and palms touching at heart center. Take a couple of moments to consciously observe how you feel right now. Draw your awareness to your mind and your head space. Notice how it feels. What word describes the state of your mind right now? And gently draw your awareness to your body. Notice how it feels. What word describes your body? And eventually tune into your emotional well-being. What emotion do you feel right now? And simply notice, observe, let it be. You are perfect just as you are. Give yourself a smile and truly thank yourself for showing up here this evening, for dedicating your time to your health, to your life, and to your practice. And thank you so very much for sharing your beautiful energy with me and everybody else who joined in here tonight. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.